Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. If Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. Hello, we are in episode 122, Joy After the Journey, Mental Health and Breast Cancer Survivorship, because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I have a very special guest, Tia Baruti. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
Yay. So you are a CEO and founder of Through the Concrete, social impact and mental health consultant. Tell us more about who you are.
So, my name is Tia Baruti, and I started a nonprofit called Through the Concrete. And
Mhm.
if anybody knows anything about Tupac and his poem, Rose That Grew Through the Concrete, that is where it kind of derived from. I'm from Chicago originally, but I had the ability through my mother, who was financially stable at the time, to be able to move to the suburbs and experience different cultures, and seeing the differences in the community I came from and the
Mhm.
community I went to high school in, and
Uh-huh.
then going through some of the trials and tribulations, which we'll discuss today,
Yeah.
and how the trauma and the trials that I experienced didn't stop me from growing. It actually helped me
Ooh.
understand and lean into the light and all that good stuff. And I promised God that if I was able to make it through my journey, that I
Yeah.
come back. And yeah, so I started Through the Concrete for
Mhm.
youth and families, mental wellness,
Ah,
social impact, and
uh-huh.
yeah, stuff like that.
Awesome. That sounds good. And you also have the website Tia Baruti. And what can we find there?
So tiabaruti.com is actually about to get updated
Mhm.
as of this weekend, to include the social impact and mental health. But I started this website when I came out with my book. My wonderful cousin Eunice created it for me. And it's
Mhm.
just some stories, some pictures about my breast cancer journey. And it has a link to Amazon to purchase my book. So, yeah,
Nice.
speaking engagements and things like that. But it'll be updated soon to include the fact that I'm a
Awesome.
social impact and mental health consultant. I do that with an organization, Black-owned organization, where I provide workshops for professionals in understanding cultural competency, trauma-informed. Understanding in every aspect. It doesn't have to be medical. You can be a teacher. I did one today, or not today, day before yesterday, on stress and how it
Mhm.
impacts you.
Mhm.
Anything pertaining to mental wellness, that's what I focus on. Mhm.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. So you mentioned your book,
Yeah.
and I have your book right
Me
here.
too, girl. Look
You're
at that.
right. Transparency Through the Storm.
Mhm.
And speaking of transparency, I bought your book a few weeks ago, but I didn't pick it up until last night because I just didn't have time. And I was just like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this book? I really want to read it. Wow. Page Turner. I read it in
Mhm.
just a few hours. Woo, you warned me. You said it's going to be a lot of emotions. And it's interesting because as a psychiatrist, I avoid movies that make me cry because it's
Mhm.
like a lot of trauma that I deal with in my profession in general.
Right.
But this one, it was just so powerful. And I felt like I was you. Like
Mhm.
the way you told the story was just so raw and so real. But before we get into it, because that's what this is about, it's about
Mhm.
joy. You were such a very joyful person. You called
Mhm.
yourself a joy optimist.
Mhm.
And throughout the story, you talk about how that joy faded, but then of course
Mhm.
what this podcast is about is joy after the journey. So hopefully
Yeah.
joy is back. But tell us about who you were before the breast cancer diagnosis.
So I've always been a hyper person. I've always been like a optimist, happy go lucky. Um, and the person everybody called on, no matter what I was doing, I would drop things and I would assist. And I'm actually started school during that time from my undergraduate in Christian
Mhm.
counseling. And I was like, well, I might as well do this because everybody comes to me. So
Mhm.
that's just, how I was. And, when you go through something like that, you think about, okay, well, what did I do? What did I
Yeah.
do for this to happen?
Mhm.
I was healthy. I was,
Mhm.
I was, um, my nose runs when I have on makeup. I was
Oh, boy.
healthy.
Mhm.
Um, even in my
Athletic.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did everything I was supposed to do in that age.
Mhm.
And so I just felt like, I was being not cursed, but punished
Mhm. Mhm.
initially. It was like,
Mhm.
I was searching, okay, what did I do? What did I say? Who did I hurt? But um I kind of had to look at it like, what makes me so different from everyone else that I've seen being diagnosed or read about being diagnosed?
Yeah.
I'm not special. I'm human,
Yeah.
and there's something that I'm going to gain out of this. I don't know what, but
Mhm.
it's something,
Right.
so yeah.
Can't help it. And, on top of like getting the most difficult diagnosis ever, you were in Germany.
Yep.
You were away from family. Of course, your
Mhm.
children and your husband was with you. How long were you all in Germany for? And why were you in Germany?
A total of 3 years.
Hmm.
We had, so I don't even think it was a year by the time I was diagnosed.
Hmm.
Because we got there I remember we got there in October,
Hmm.
and my daughter's born in April. So April,
Hmm.
May, math is not my
You were
forte. So
pregnant.
April, May, June, July, August, September, October. My daughter was 6 months when we originally moved.
Okay, gotcha.
So that following year,
Got it.
is when I was diagnosed. So we were
Hmm.
just getting our feet wet, like I had a group of girls,
Okay.
military.
Okay, so what's for military?
Yeah, so well, my
Ah,
husband's a contractor, so at that time we were over there.
gotcha.
But previous to that, God, it's so funny because previous to that, I was
Mhm.
deployed in Germany.
Mm.
I worked in the Landstuhl Hospital,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I remember one day working to work, and I walking to work, and I was like, oh, one day, God, I want to be here with my family, which sounds unrealistic to some people from
Yeah.
where I'm from, but I've learned to like speak things into existence, no matter how crazy it sounds. Like, don't doubt yourself. You're the one that puts the limits on your life. And so I was like, God, let me and my family be here so my daughter can see, at that time it was just my daughter, and we weren't married. So my
Mhm.
daughter can see this. She had
Mhm.
come for Christmas, and I was
Mhm.
able to take her to Paris and all this other stuff. But I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
how cool would it be for her to be here? But nonetheless, I was there
Yeah.
prior to them. And so I kind of
Gotcha.
knew all the places,
That's
to go
cool.
and connections. And so
Mhm.
yeah, it was crazy that we ended up being there a couple years later.
Yeah, and it was interesting, like, once you got into like, you went to, you found the lump in your breast, they were like, "Oh, whoa." It seemed like the way the doctors reacted, they were kinda and maybe it was a cultural thing, like, stone cold and just like, "Yeah, it looks like you have cancer."
Mhm.
And the first one was on the phone that told you, and walk us through that briefly. I know we want y'all to read the book.
Yeah,
But I
so
thought that was it. I was like, "Is this because they're German
no, so I had found the lump 2 years prior.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
did a scan, an ultrasound, I did the mammogram, and they were like, "Oh, it's just probably scar tissue because
Yeah.
I'm a right hand shooter." And so I believed them
Mm.
because it wasn't just my
Okay.
civilian doctor; it was the VA as well. So I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, well, maybe it is." And I had smaller breasts then. So I ended up going to the doctor because my husband, I don't know why y'all black men go to the doctor.
They don't wanna
Okay.
go.
Go to the
Yeah.
doctor. So I convinced him. I said, "Well, I made us an appointment. I didn't really need one. I had already done my annual." But we
Mhm.
went, and the doctor, came back with blood work and everything, and she was like, "I didn't know it was a thing. Like, you drink too much water. I almost drank too much water. That's how, like,
Yeah, too much of anything
yeah."
can
So
kill
I was
you.
like, "I'm thirsty. I'm gonna drink
Mhm.
water."
That's good.
So, so his doctor told him, "You're doing everything good. Tell your wife." Good job. My doctor was like,
Yeah.
everything's good. But did I have any concerns? And I just was like, well, I don't know. It just made me think about it. I was like, I have this lump, you know,
Good.
and it seems like it's getting harder. I don't know,
Yeah.
and it's kind of growing. So she just touched it real quick, and she was like, I'm gonna refer you to the doctor. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, does this one speak English? You speak English, but does this one
Mm.
speak English? And she
Mm.
was like, all of them kind of do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I ended up going. And long story short, she just did the normal, when you're
Mhm.
pregnant and they do the ultrasound, she just did the normal ultrasound, turned that screen on over to me. And she said, you see those dots? That's calcifications. And the crazy thing is I remember it was like a photogenic memory. I remember reading the results from 2 years ago that said calcifications.
Uh-huh.
Remember, because I was like, what is calcifications?
You saw it 2 years prior.
I saw it said calcifications.
You
So
didn't
when
you
she
know
said
what?
this is calcifications, and I was like, oh, I remember they said that. And she was like, that's how you know your body is fighting something. And she said
Okay.
that's tumor. Now we
Wow.
just got to see what kind of tumor. And I was like, huh,
Wow.
okay, well, all right, let's do that. So yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, this is also deep. I have to read an insert from the book real quick, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Because like I said, you mentioned your natural joy, a
Mhm.
natural born optimist, and it just was, maybe it wasn't quickly, maybe it was gradually replaced by depression and anxiety,
Mhm.
mood swings and stress. And in one of the chapters, you said, I was still joyful. To a certain extent, you were still joyful. You're like, I got this, right? And then you said, after the pure hell of my first antibody treatment and chemo were completed, all that happy go lucky stuff, God is good and I can do anything because I am strong, went out the door. I didn't want to be told I was going to be okay. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to read the Bible. I didn't want to hear any music. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't even want to see my husband or my kids. I just wanted the pain and the agony to stop. I was tired in every way, shape, and form. I was tired of pushing. I was tired of hoping. I was tired of being positive. I was just tired of ready to call it quits. And that is so real. We can get to a point in our lives where it's just like, I don't want to be happy right now. I don't want to be joyful. I don't want to be
Mhm.
strong. And it's really difficult. Tell us more about that, and how did you possibly take a turn for even getting back to the positive after a point like that?
So I think that as people, whether male or female, and more specifically as Black women,
Hmm.
we are forced to put on a mask and carry this
Yeah.
anchor
Hmm.
called strength.
Yep.
And society makes us believe what strength is and what it's supposed to look like.
Hmm.
And just like you said, with anything, too much of it
Yeah.
can cause you
Hmm.
harm.
Hmm.
And so I think for so long, I felt like that's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And when those toxins were in my body,
Hmm.
I couldn't. I couldn't anymore. It was
Yeah.
like the veil was dropped and it was gone.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I felt everything I had been feeling or been ignoring rather.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, now what? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to put, I don't want to smile. I don't
Hmm.
want to be a mom. I don't want to be a wife. I don't want to
Hmm.
be a friend. I don't want to be a daughter. I don't want to be anything. I damn near don't want to be me. I damn near don't
Hmm.
here. Um, and I think once I allowed myself to feel
Mm.
is when I start reflecting,
Mhm.
um, and understanding that, and with the help of who I call my sister, she's not my blood sister, but her name is Mary, and I write about her
Okay.
in the book.
Yeah, you do.
And I think the day that she told me, Tia, you don't have to be the face of cancer,
Mm.
is when I was like, okay, I can feel, I can be, it's okay that I'm not okay.
Yep. Yep.
It's okay that I'm not that person that people are used to depending on.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me less of a woman. That doesn't make me less of a wife. It doesn't make me less of a mother. It doesn't make me less of a friend. It doesn't make me less of a daughter, and it damn sure doesn't make me less of a human. It makes me more, because me living makes other people who experience or have any feelings like I do,
Yeah.
that it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Because even in in the worst place in your life, um, I started saying something. I would put my hand over my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody's listening, put your hand over your heart
Yeah.
and just be still.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling of life means you have purpose. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't,
That's
then you
good.
wouldn't feel it anymore.
That's good.
So I would just stop myself and I say, okay, I'm here. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's not my strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's the higher power strength. And I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Jew. You're Jewish. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if
Yeah.
you're atheist. I don't care what you call God. That's your business, not mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But most people believe in a higher power, and most people understand that there's something going on, some energy, something going on that is causing us to still be here.
Uh-huh.
And if
Mm-hmm.
we're still here, then we still have work to do. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to balance it while not focusing too much on the future and not focusing too much on the past.
Exactly.
Just being present. And that's what I learned to do.
That's good. Ooh, being present. Yeah, that's what I was going to comment when you mentioned putting your hand on your heart. That's a grounding technique.
Mhm.
Being present, it's a mindfulness technique. So it really gets you out of your head, that's spiraling and overthinking, and
Mhm.
helps you with that anxiety. So that's one good point, the mindfulness and the grounding and being present. The other good point is faith. I'm
Yeah.
a psychiatrist. I'm not always talking about faith, but I am definitely a faith-based woman and I go to
Mhm.
church and all those things. And that's how I'm even here because I believe in God. But when it comes to cancer and of many, many, many hardships, well, obviously we're talking about cancer at this point.
Mhm.
Faith seems like that's what really, really got you through, even
Mhm.
though it sounded like there were times when you were just like, well, why me? Did
Mhm.
you ever feel like you questioned belief in God? Some people do that when they go through hardships like this.
No. I don't know if it's because of my upbringing. My family is from a very Pentecostal Christian
Mhm.
based
Good.
religion. My great grandfather started a church, People's Church of the Harvest. My
Mhm.
cousin, Dr. Michael Eady, is the pastor over it now.
Mhm.
Um, and I, it's again, coincidentally, I was going to school for my undergraduate in Christian counseling. So it kind of forced me to really put
Mhm.
real life reality and the word together. And that became like tears to the
Yeah.
foundation. And so
Wow.
like where I am now, I'm more spiritual than religion,
Mhm.
because of the cancer journey, I've I've gained my own relationship with God. That's not dictated
Got you
by religion.
closer and stronger.
Exactly. I think I said in the book, um, or I was gonna say in the book that because y'all don't judge me,
It's
I
been a while.
I haven't read the book since I wrote it.
Yeah.
It's like reliving, so I haven't
Yeah.
read it. But it's like God was my neighbor, right?
Mhm.
And you know how you go outside and you're like, that's your
Mhm.
neighbor. You know what car they
Yeah.
drive.
Your
You
neighbor.
know around when they come
Mhm.
home. You like, hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Or hey,
Mhm.
I got a pack. Your package. I put it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was me before. Like, hey, you know,
Mhm.
um,
Wow, you a cool guy. Gotcha.
yeah, cool. We
Yeah.
ain't- we ain't re- we ain't really go over each other's house or nothing. You know,
Ah, yeah.
but we was cool. And then after the journey, it was like God was picking up my baby from school, you know, had a key to the crib,
Gotcha. You got
you
way
know,
closer.
right, key to the crib, you know, coming over. We sing karaoke, you know, Isley
Mm-hmm.
Brothers, you know,
You done moved in.
come on, you know, like this journey taught me it's okay to be me. And
Oh, that's
I don't
good.
have to form myself after what other people believe I should be.
Yeah, and it's almost like redefining who you are. Like if you're always this happy person,
Mhm.
you almost felt pressure to be that happy person. Then you're like,
Mhm.
well, no, I'm not always defined by this happy person. I'm also this other
Mhm.
person too. And you talked
Yep.
about how people not necessarily cut you off, but they started kind of backing off, like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm real sad and I don't know what to say. And
Yeah.
so they just awkwardly kind of left you high
Mhm.
and dry. So
Mhm.
there's that too, but it also doesn't mean you can't be yourself and be sad and
Yep.
be devastated because that's who you are. And
Mhm. And it taught me, because a lot of people, because of my energy, are attracted to me. And so
oh.
I used to let everybody, you know, hey, I'll call myself an equal opportunist.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
showed you were cool. Okay, cool, we friends, you know. But from that situation, you know, it taught me that everybody doesn't deserve your space. If you can't be with
Yeah.
me when I'm up, then I mean, you know what I'm like, you're okay with being with me when I'm up, but you're not okay with being with me when I'm down.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it's like you don't have to have the words to say.
Hmm.
You don't have to do anything. That's not your
Hmm.
job. Just
Hmm.
be. Just be there. And it was a lot
Yeah.
of people who, you know, I was there for in that short period of time. Even people that I knew, you know, before Germany, it's like they just, you know, slipped off. And it's
Hmm.
like, and I understand. I don't blame them, because a lot of people don't know how to function in that.
Hmm.
They don't know how to
They
be,
just
because
don't know what to do.
yeah, they don't feel like they know
Yeah.
what to do, what to
Hmm.
say. They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And some people can't take hearing one person who they've seen like this for 30 something years, and now
Now they're the
that
other
person
way.
doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And since we're talking about faith and the Bible and God and all that, as I was reading this, I thought about Job and how
Mhm.
so God told the devil, he said, Job's faith is so strong. I bet you can test him and take all this stuff away and he'll still believe in you. It's almost like that when you go through a cancer diagnosis.
Mhm.
You almost have to just align yourself like, I'm just Job right now. But
Mhm.
there was a point too where his friends came and they just sat there and just
And
listened.
told him, curse. Why don't you curse
Yeah,
God?
yeah.
His
Oh,
wife.
right.
Why don't you
Yeah. Oh,
curse
that's true.
God?
They did say that.
Yeah.
I was
Why
thinking they sat there and listened. That's what I was gonna
No,
say.
they
It's
said, why
different.
don't you curse God? Why don't you curse?
Oh gosh.
Everybody that was supposed to support him, you know,
Mm.
didn't support him. No, his kids, I think his kids died and all types of stuff. He lost
Oh my
everything.
gosh.
He even
Yeah.
got sick. And he
Yeah.
was like, you know, he was, I don't know how much more I could take,
Yeah,
but
but Imma still
I'm gonna
believe.
still
Like, that's
believe.
some strong faith right there. And, spouses usually check out too, and, let's take some time, props to your husband was, absolutely amazing. You wanna talk a little bit about, his,
So
his role?
my loving dear husband.
Yeah.
um it was hard on him. He was,
Yeah.
so on my end, now that I look back, I look at it
Mhm.
differently. But on my end, I want to first say that he lost his father to
Mhm.
cancer. He lost his aunt to cancer. And
Mm.
his stepdad had just, I believe, recently had been diagnosed with colon cancer, but it was small, so they were able to have surgery, and he's good. So
Wow.
he's fine. And then your wife is diagnosed with
Wow.
stage 3 breast cancer.
Oh my goodness.
So my husband is a I call him a robot. He hates it I call him that, but that's what I call him, because he has the ability to just function, but emotionally you can tell he's not right. So he
Mhm.
was in school for his master's degree. I was
Mhm.
in school in my undergraduate degree.
You were in school throughout all this.
My daughter was in school her senior year of high school.
Mhm.
And then we found out my youngest daughter was autistic same time.
You never actually said that in a book, but it was implied. No, I looked at your TikTok. That's how I found out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, after all this
Yeah.
is also that?
Mm-hmm. So,
Girl.
he was dealing with a lot and working, and
Yeah.
dealing working with the military. You're expected to just push, and so that's what he did.
Yeah.
So he did what he was supposed to do,
Mhm.
and he was as supportive as he could be.
Yeah.
Um, but emotionally, he was broken.
Mhm.
My daughter, same thing. My daughter's very strong.
Wow.
And she literally had to take care of her little sister.
She
She
was
almost didn't
foster growing.
graduate high school,
Mhm.
because she missed so much school. Um, so yeah, it was
Yeah.
hard on him, but he was there as much as he could. He was there as much as he could. And
Wow.
supported me in all of my shenanigans.
What is the shenanigans? Oh my
All of my
goodness.
shenanigans.
Wow. So, I mean, really what we're talking about, as a survivor or as someone going through it, it's almost like finding a new you, a new
Mhm.
normal.
Mhm.
What does your new joy look like now? And, what did you have to release to get there?
My new joy, I think it's continuous,
Yeah.
not just setting a ceiling, like
Mhm.
just living. Um, I definitely, because of that, anybody I would think, that is on their deathbed,
Yeah.
would look at life a bit differently. I look at the sky different. I
Yeah.
My lens as far as seeing things and understanding, and it's not just the fact that this is what I do as a career, mental wellness, social impact, and I
Mhm.
am in
Mhm.
school for my master's in marriage and family therapy.
Woohoo.
Thank you. Um, and I teach people,
Yeah.
about mental wellness and understanding, but um I think that the joy is like finding it in everyday life, in every moment.
Yeah.
And I learned how to do that during the journey, because
Yeah.
I would write on Facebook my truth. This is and shout out to my brother, JD, comedian,
Mhm. Mhm.
because he I wasn't gonna tell anybody. Like, I wasn't gonna say anything, because it's not, how would they know? I was in Germany.
Right.
So so he was like, you can't keep this to yourself. You need to allow people to support you. Who's going to support you? And some people are not. You got to be okay with those people that don't. But you need this support. And so I would do check-ins on Facebook, and let people know how I was doing. But the reality, like, I can't taste my food.
Yeah.
I have sores in my mouth. My
Mhm.
fingernails are falling off.
Mm.
um I was hospitalized,
Multiple times.
multiple times.
Yeah.
The worst one was when it was a week before my daughter's 18th birthday. I'll never forget.
Mm.
And my daughter had some event at high school, and I went to go get her, and I felt very nauseous, which wasn't it's not that that was an abnormal thing, because the craziest thing is I gained weight during
Mhm.
my treatments, whereas other
Yeah.
people lost. And I believe it has to do with the fact that I had two treatments, um,
Oh, okay.
chemo and Herceptin.
Uh,
Um, but I remember I wasn't feeling good that day, and I
mhm.
used to try to do what I could, because I knew it was a lot on my husband's plate. So, and I didn't want to take away from my daughter experience her senior year in high school. So I felt sick beforehand. When it got her, we pulled it, and like, I held it in. We pulled in the driveway, and I was just profusely puking, just a lot. And she ran in the house and was like, "Mom's sick." And I'm like, "I'm okay. I'm okay." Maybe I just ate something wrong. And then I went upstairs, and I laid down in the bed, and then about 10 minutes later, puked again, and then went back in the room. And then as soon as I got back in the room, went back, and I was just puking until it
Wow.
was nothing left, and I was just puking bile. And I
Mm.
kept telling my husband, something's wrong, like,
Yeah.
something's wrong. And I think he figured this was part of the process. So
Yeah.
he was concerned, but he was like, well, maybe if you're still doing it, we'll take you tomorrow. And I was like,
Hmm.
I think I gotta go now. And so he took me to the hospital. None of the people in the emergency spoke English.
Oh, wow.
And I remember just being so tired. Just so tired. And yep, here it comes. I told you. I
Got your
remember
tissue
being
ready.
so tired. And I didn't want to bother my sister Mary because she had been there so much.
Hmm.
And I was trying to use my language translator
Oh,
because they
okay.
couldn't find a vein. I was dehydrated, so
Hmm.
they had poked me about 10 times trying to find a vein in my arm, and I was like, just I don't care anymore. Just whatever. And I remember she came in, and I don't know what the hell she was saying, but you could hear it in her voice, how and
Yeah.
I think she went and told them to get like the charge nurse, somebody that knew what they were doing.
Hmm.
And they finally got a vein, a IV, and I actually had to stay in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I remember she came in and came up and was like, okay, she had to go home because she had a family. She had to
Hmm.
go home. My husband had went home, took my daughter, and he was tired. And I told her I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And she left out, and I just started crying. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Hmm.
And it's so funny because she told me later on she walked out the hospital room and just slid down the wall and was crying and was like, save my sister.
Oh, wow. That's so scary.
And I was like, okay, if I make it through the night, you know, I'm gonna push, but I don't have anything else in me.
Yeah.
And then I thought about the date and I was like, oh shoot, I can't die because my
Because your
daughter's
daughter's
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, I was like, then
You
not
said
only
I gotta push
trauma.
anyway.
Yeah, I was like, okay, can't die now.
Oh,
So,
things we think about.
yeah.
Wow.
So I remember I wasn't supposed to get out the hospital when I did,
Hmm.
but it was her birthday, 11/17. And I told my doctor, her name was Dr. Ma, I said, listen, I need you to let me out this hospital because my baby having a birthday dinner and I need to be there.
Was this a few days after this moment you're talking
This
about them
was
trying to
like
sick you?
4 days after I told
Oh,
them.
okay. I was gonna
4
say you can't go out right
Well,
there.
they
Okay.
wanted to keep me,
Yeah, like
but I was
continue.
like, I'm tired of being that hospital food was nasty, honey. It ain't nothing. I never
Yeah.
boasted American hospital food, but honey, that German hospital food, no thank you.
I can't even think of a German dish that I'm like, "Oh,
It was a
yay."
Polish that wasn't done and
Oh,
some bread. I said, am I in
okay.
jail, Lord? It's jail.
You already didn't have the taste buds, and then now that is
Oh
oh,
goodness. But people
oh,
used to bring me
man.
food when I wasn't there.
Okay.
But yeah,
Mm, mm,
they
mm.
let me out, told me because it was during COVID as well.
Yes,
So yeah, it's like pow, 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 take this.
exactly.
But yeah, she let me out. She said, if you have a fever,
Yeah,
you have a cough,
yeah.
you bring your butt here. And I was like, okay, I promise. So I was like, can y'all put us in the corner away from everybody? And I was able to be there for my daughter's 18th birthday. So yeah.
Wow,
Hmm.
wow, wow, what you
Yep.
went through. And, going back to that point where it seemed like you were done with chemo and you found out that there was so much more of the treatment. Now you have to have the mastectomy. Now they have to insert a spacer. Then you gotta wait 7 months. You mentioned, I think, like a deformity in your body, and
Hmm.
then you're gonna be able to get, implants. And
Hmm.
so that was where you were depleted. You're like, "My journey's not over with this. I'm supposed to be excited that I'm done
Hmm.
with chemo." As those next several months, came around, where did the light at the end of the tunnel start to come back, where it's just like,
I mean, I
"Okay,
think slowly but surely it was growing because for instance, I cut my own hair. I cut my
yeah,
own hair to take my power back
that's
and to
good,
have some control over
that's
something.
good."
Um, and I had an outlet as well. Every month I went to my sister's meeting of the souls is what she does. And
Mhm.
I'm a spoken word artist as well. So I would write
Right.
poems and I could get it out.
Mhm.
Um, and I had little breakthroughs here and there. So it was just like me becoming more cognizant of the transformation and the growth in who I was to become.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was I'm the side effect queen. So if it says something, those commercials
Yeah,
where
you gonna get it
take
all.
this, that's
Oh
me. Like
gosh.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get it.
Mhm.
So I did decide, I had my mastectomy. I stayed flat for a year because I was tired of
And
surgery.
was it double or one?
It's just one. I
Okay.
was I was I was tired of surgeries. So I was flat for a year until I learned to continue to love me. And then I was like, okay, I don't like the way that I look at my stuff. And I found a doctor, Dr. Ma. Her name was Dr. It's weird, I know, in Georgia. Um,
Oh, you're back in Georgia at that
yeah,
point.
I was back in Georgia, and she was a breast cancer survivor. And again, side effect queen. So my spacer was fine. Everything was fine with the spacer. But then when I did the reconstructive surgery, I almost bled to death. We
Oh.
drove to Atlanta to do the surgery. I told her, I said, keep me here, observation. Oh, no, you'll be fine. This is outpatient surgery. Got the surgery.
That's supposed to be outpatient? I guess so.
Outpatient, yep.
Oh.
Drove to a pit stop because she said,
Mhm.
walk around the car, get your circulation. By the time I got home, my right breast was so swollen and hot. And I
Mhm.
showed her a picture. She said, you have two choices, go to the ER there or turn around 2 hours, drive back to
Mm.
Atlanta. So I drove back to Atlanta because I was
Did
like, I don't want nobody else cutting on me.
Oh, man. That was your fear because you were talking about, like, the worst things that could happen.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
man.
And thank God I was okay. She kept me that day. She kept
Mhm.
me after that one.
Mhm.
And I had some issues with the incisions, but yeah, I caught my this is how my breasts look now. I call them winky. My winky. So
Well, from what I can tell, they look like they match your body.
they do, I know, I said, oh, you did the big one. You gotta be careful, people, when you ask God for something, because I've always wanted breast. But I
Mhm.
didn't want to have to go through this to get it.
To
But yeah.
get it. Oh, okay, so you're saying they're a little bit bigger than usual
Oh
than what
yeah.
you were used to.
They fit my body, but yeah, they were bigger than what they were initially.
Gotcha.
And I
Oh,
show them because I would work for them. Yes, I did.
yeah, you did. Oh, it's so nice that you can just laugh and it's just so good. So what do you wish people understood about the emotional recovery after surviving breast
That's what I'm
cancer?
still going through. I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna write a book called After the Storm.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, because this is through the storm. Yeah,
yes,
let's do
yes.
after.
That just happened like 2 weeks ago. I was like, maybe I need to write
Mm.
a one now because nobody talks about After the Storm, and that's actually
Yeah,
both
because
going.
it's kind of stopped, so it makes sense that would pick up. I need a
Mhm.
sequel.
Yeah, because a lot of people expect you to go back to who you were, and that person is dead.
Oh.
Then a lot of people expect you to be who you were during the journey, depending on how you were, but
Mhm,
that person no longer exists.
mhm.
And so I went through a lot the past 3 years. I've gone through a lot of mental and spiritual and emotional
Yeah.
situations. And
Mhm.
this is where I will 100% give my husband credit because I've always been an outgoing person,
Yeah.
but baby, I was gone for 2 years. I was
Yeah.
gone, searching,
Mhm.
trying to find me. Oh, I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to be here. I want to go there. I want to stay out. I want to drink. I want to
Oh,
party.
you mean going like you outside, that's
Yeah,
what
I
you
was
meant.
gone.
Okay,
I was gone.
gotcha.
I was very self-indulged
Mhm.
because I was on the other end. I gave so much of myself,
Yeah.
before the cancer. And so then after the cancer, I was like, forget everybody. It's me, 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 me.
Ooh, put
You
yourself
know,
on the priority list. There it
yeah, I
is.
survived, but in that, I wasn't being a good wife, wasn't being a good mom, wasn't being a good friend, wasn't being a good daughter, wasn't being a good sister because it was about me, me, me.
And this is after the journey?
This was after.
Gotcha.
Um, and I literally recently, I'd say the past 6 months, have gain some type of balance
Okay, good.
where yeah, I'm me. I'm still loving, silly, joyful Tia.
Yeah,
But you know, I have some physical issues that came from the toxins that were placed in my body. I had 13 months of treatments. I didn't, and it's
yeah.
not to say someone's journey is less than mine or not, but I had chemo, 6 months of chemo, and then I had 13 months of Herceptin.
Oh, wow. On
So
top of that, oh,
exactly. So like right now, I'm after this, I'm in the shower going to bed, not because I work so much, it's because my iron, I'm technically right now severe anemia. My body does not
gotcha.
retain iron. So um you're supposed to be between a 13 and a 15. I'm at a
Mhm.
6.5 right now.
Mhm.
So that, and then I'm a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran, so I see the doctor more times in 2 weeks than most people see in a year. Um, so I've found my happy place, and I'm still
Yeah.
finding it because I went from not being critical to too critical. Yeah, like
Gotcha.
no, I'm not gonna do that. Do it yourself. I'll
Exactly.
never
It was like you
do
went from one extreme to the other extreme,
it.
so then it's like, "Well, let's dial it back, but not all the way back
Exactly.
here."
So I'm finding
Oh, yeah,
my
that's
therapist
good.
said I'm finding my gray. I'm finding my happy
Mm.
gray, which I've always just been black or white. So I'm finding
Yeah.
my happy gray, and I think a lot of people need to understand that, you know, nothing. I had a conversation, well, argument with someone, and it really hurt me when they said, "You had cancer was 5 years ago, 6 years. I don't even know. I stopped counting.
Mhm.
Um, so you can stop using that as an excuse."
What is
And
wrong
I
with
know, but I
people?
know it came from it didn't it came from an ignorant place. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because people do use excuses to say why they are how they are. But that is reality.
It's a medical trauma. It's kind of like also like a loss and a grieving process. It's just
Mhm.
like telling somebody to get over the loss of their
Mhm.
loved one.
Or
There's
a
no
child.
deadline.
Yeah, like you that's it's something that I think about every day. I can't not think about it every day.
Yeah.
Um I choose to live beyond it, and I'm thankful for it. I'm so thank now where I'm sitting, I'm so
Wow.
thankful for it because it's created who I am today. I
Ooh,
would have
that's
never
deep.
written that book, you know, if I would have never experienced the journey. I would have never started my
Wow.
nonprofit if I never would experience the journey. I would never have the gall to speaking arrange, you know, engagements. That's my daughter.
I was gonna say, is that your daughter?
Speaking engagements if I would have never had the journey. You know,
That's powerful.
I would on my baby girl, she saved my life. Because I wouldn't have paid attention to my body. I was breastfeeding her. You know what I mean? So it's
Wow.
it
That's that
created
resilience talk right there. You're
yeah,
like,
it
"I am
create
grateful I went through this."
yeah, I'm
Probably
very
wouldn't wanna
grateful.
do it again, but
Hell no, excuse my French.
yeah, right, no, you can say, "Hell nah."
No,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. But that's just good. That's what resilience is about, and,
Mhm.
we want life to be easy. We don't wanna face challenges and things like that, but we really do come out stronger on at the end of
Absolutely.
it.
Diamonds create diamonds aren't created just comes out as a diamond. It
Yeah,
comes
they could
from pressure.
beaten. Yeah,
You know,
exactly. I never seen
that's
it
the
work, but yeah.
that's the way you create diamonds. So if you want to be a diamond, you got to go through some stuff. You got to
Yeah.
go through some pressure.
Or you're like a
It,
butterfly. The caterpillar has to go through you heard that about it has to go through
mhm.
that small hole. If you
Yep.
helped it come out, it would just die as wings,
Yep.
but it
Yep.
needs that pressure in order to fly and blossom.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Wasn't wishing on anybody, but this is
Hmm.
really great way to accept it
Hmm.
and to grow
And
after
it's
the
people
fact.
that didn't make it. So how dare I
Yeah.
not be thankful? How dare I not
Yeah, yeah.
share? My friends, they say all the time, I don't like talking about myself. Not that I'm, you know, not confident. I'm confident in me.
Mhm,
I love
mhm,
me,
mhm.
but I'm not ego driven. So
Yeah, good.
if someone asked me, people were telling me, T, promote your book. T, you know, I've had this book since when was this book? I don't know.
2019, what? No.
There you go.
I don't know. It was in 2019 when you're
I
right. It was 2021 says, yeah.
there you go. I have not. I don't because I didn't write it for me. I
Yeah.
didn't write this
No,
book for me.
no.
Like I lived
Which is
it.
why you haven't gone back to read it. It wasn't for you.
Exactly. It wasn't for me. It
Yeah.
was, and this was forced out of me. It was just because of school. Um,
Wow.
and people saying, and those my dean them saying, hey, this is great. You need to make this into a book. My friends saying, hey,
So good.
people can get something from this tea.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's how it started from school.
Yeah, because my
Oh.
internship, I couldn't do. I couldn't finish it because I was sick. So
Uh-huh.
they told me that the dean of the school, my professor, who also was my counselor, ended
Mhm.
up writing and saying, this student can't do her internship. She's in Germany. She just found out she had cancer. She has to do chemo treatments, and she's a straight A student. Can we do something? And he was like, right, I think it was like 20 pages or something like that,
Oh.
cancer journey. And I was like, what? Of all things,
And
why
it's a
that?
book. It's a book.
And that was the
You know
beginning.
that. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that was not many people know that, but yeah, that was the
Mm-mm.
beginning, and that's how I graduated, writing this book. Right.
Wow. Oh, all the stars aligning. Well, one last question.
Yes, ma'am.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Somebody's
Mhm.
going through it right now. So if you could speak to another woman currently in the thick of this treatment, what
Mhm.
message of hope or healing would you whisper to her heart today?
Mm. So that's the thing. Everybody's journey is different, just like everybody's life is different.
Yeah.
Um, I believe energy begets energy, and I tell everyone that's in my circle that. So I believe in manifestation, but I believe in energy more. So if you think positive, you feel positive. Oh, thank you, Miss. You think positive, you feel positive, you'll start speaking positivity. And then that energy has no choice but to be attracted to you. That does not mean that you can't speak the reality of what you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
But your focus, once you speak that reality, yeah, I feel terrible. Yeah, my friend isn't supporting me the way I want to. Yeah, oh my goodness, I have to, quit my job, or I don't know where my income is gonna come through. But God,
That's good.
because the word but, a lot of people say, and I tell my daughter
That's
all the
critical.
time, that but means forget everything I said before,
Yep.
focus on
Mm-hmm.
what I said after. So yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say all these
That's
things,
good. But
but I have this, but
yeah,
I have that. So I would be like,
that's
I,
gratefulness.
yeah, I can't taste my food, or I can't taste it, but I can taste hot, I can taste cold, I can taste sweet, it's something,
Yeah.
I it's funny, but I was like, I'm bald headed and eyebrows, but I'm cute. you know,
Hey, there it is.
it would just take that energy. Yes, this is true, but let's take that energy and focus on this. And it's okay to feel. It's okay. Feel
Yeah.
what you feel. You don't have to, like my sister said, you don't have to be the face of cancer. You just have to be you, and you gotta,
Ooh.
live it. And if you want to survive, then believe you will.
Really
Truly believe. Don't just say it. You gotta believe that thing. You
actually
gotta
believe it.
believe it
It's
like
a
that's your.
mindset shift. I mean, it's mind work, like, all this it's changing your mind. The
Mhm,
positivity, Journey to
mhm,
Joy Life, that's all I talk about, is the way you think, positive affirmations, the gratitude you just spoke
mhm.
about.
This is
It gets
proven.
you
It's
a long
scientifically
way.
proven. This
Yes.
scientific, literally, y'all go look it up. It is scientifically, spiritually, every other
Yep.
ethically proven that energy attracts energy.
Mhm.
So I don't. If you say, God, or you say universe, whatever, it will follow you. It will follow you. I didn't. I didn't. I'm gonna end with this, and I think I told you about it already. You are the
Yeah.
face of a new beginning and proof of God. Look at my child. You better speak that.
Oh, she's so
Um.
beautiful.
So, in 2011, I had a dream. I told you this via text message. 2011, I had a dream, and my cousin, Pastor Michael Eady, told us during sermon service that we should keep pen and notebook or the phone next to you when you have vivid dreams. It means something.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
write it down. And back then I didn't know the Bible, couldn't quote no nothing. And in the dream, I was on a stage, and it was a room full of people, but it was a lot of women, and they were like church going folks. I remember, growing
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
these church going folks, y'all know the
yeah.
so
Well, you know.
exactly. To the left of me, there was an easel, and I
Uh-huh.
could not see what was on the easel. It was a poster, but I couldn't see it, and I couldn't remember what I said prior to, thank you, and people clapped. And I said, I'm open the floor to questions, and this lady stood up. You call her Bertha, I don't know, but she was back in the day, down south. Praise the Lord.
Mhm, mhm.
And she said, well, how you call yourself a Christian and you curse? Because I curse people. Okay, I've learned
Oh,
that
I've
that's
been
okay.
told that too.
And also, note this: they say the most intellectual people with high Q curse. Take that
That
and
they
put
do curse. Oh, interesting. Oh
put in
boy, I
your
think my
Google it,
husband's listening.
Google it. But so yeah, so she said that, and I said, have you read Second Corinthians? And with the matter of factly, she was like, yes. And I said, well, it says
See, my
you know
husband said amen about the cursing thing.
I'm collecting an offering after this. So I said, you read Second Corinthians. The arm can't do what the foot does. The head
Mhm,
can't do what the hand does. I said, God gives me discernment just like you, but we all somehow make the body of Christ.
mhm,
And everybody
mhm.
was clapping, and I woke up and I wrote it
Wow, and that
down.
was in a
And
dream.
that was in a
Wow.
dream. And so this past Saturday, I spoke at my first event.
Yeah.
I've spoken before, but I'm speaking a lot more, not just for breast cancer, but as a social impact and mental health consultant through another organization. And now it's like merging,
Mhm.
with my experiences. And I was like, okay, God,
Heck yeah.
is this what you were saying?
I need to hear your
Because
story.
this is never where I thought I'd be, but it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place to
Wow.
be, because I believe this is my saying it. Everything you do is not for you. It's
Mhm.
for everyone that's connected to you or will be connected to you.
Exactly.
So you being you will help so many people, because you can only connect to people who you're supposed to connect to. And
Mhm.
I connect to people who I'm supposed to connect to, but I
Mhm,
can only
mhm.
do that by being me,
Yep, authentic, living
authentically
who
me.
you are, exactly. That's good. That's good. Well, that's a great place to end. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll ask all my guests about their journey to joy, but this whole topic has been about your journey to joy, and it is ongoing. And you are such a beautiful soul, as these
Thank
comments have been
you.
saying. Thank you so much. I'm so mad I missed you when I was in Chicago. How is it that I ran a whole race in your city and didn't realize you live there?
I don't know, but I was in this city. Me and my best friend and my sister. We was outside.
That's wild. But anyway,
So
thank you
next time
so
you gotta
much.
let me know.
Exactly. Next time, man. You tell me when you in Atlanta area.
Right? Because I was in Georgia. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Gonna have you back.
Sure. I love it. I'm getting used to this. I like this.
Yay. And thank you everyone for watching.
Yes,
Looks like a
thank you
lot of
all.
family and friends.
Yes, especially those my TikTok family, and I normally don't share that because my TikTok is a little unfiltered. But yeah, but I appreciate y'all for following me. You know who you are. And family and
Oh.
friends that I messaged, and thank you all for adding Dr. Joy to your pages, and make sure you don't stop here and follow her, because she's gonna have some more people that she interviews. And I want to tell you, Dr. Joy, I don't know what it took for you to get this platform and do what you do, but as one Black woman to another, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
doing it in spite of, because by you following what you heard and what you needed to do, you have helped people like myself connect
Yes.
and so many countless others. I mean, we on episode 122. Okay.
Somebody
So
heard.
yeah, somebody gonna pick this up.
Yeah,
And
and
don't
get
forget
the
about the
book. Go
girls.
to Amazon and get the book. It's
Yes, please.
amazing. I mean,
Thank
even
you.
as a medical doctor, it's so much I did not know. I mean, you can't know everything. Read it. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 12 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also check out Inspired Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.